All right. Hello, everyone. This is Movie Albert here at Al's Place. And today I want to talk about one of my favorite war movies that came out in 1966. And this movie has sort of a special interest to me because when it came out in 1966, my first job ever was in a movie theater in my hometown of Wilmington, North Carolina. And we played this movie. It came out in 1966, so I'm telling my age here. I was 16 years old. And so we played this movie, Is Paris Burning? It's one of my favorite all time movies. And I remember when we showed the movie at the Bailey, I remember in my spare time, I was always sitting in the theater watching the movie. And to this day, it's always been one of my favorites. And I had a chance to rewatch it. I haven't watched it in a long time. And I have the DVD, of course, right here. Is Paris Burning? And I've had this DVD for a while, and I wish Criterion would do a version, but this is a great copy. I've never had an issue with this DVD, and it's a wonderful movie. It's got a great cast. Of course, it's got a booklet on the inside, and there's the DVD. It's a terrific war movie, and it's got an all-star cast. I have the one sheet for it right here. You can see. There's the one sheet. And I actually have this one sheet in my collection. It's in my living room in a frame. But I mean, the movie had an all-star cast. I mean, it had some really good people. It also had some cameos with Kirk Douglas. Let's see here, Kirk Douglas, and, and a few other people, Glenn Ford. They were just in it. I think they put those big stars in the movie to give it some attention. But the premise of the movie, it's a sprawling laden film. It depicts the struggles of various French resistant fractions to regain control of Paris near the end of World War II. Now, the Nazi general in charge of Paris, Dietrich von Schultz, is played by Gert Forb. You might remember Gert Forb. He was in Goldfinger. He was the villain in Goldfinger. Anyway, he's terrific as the German soldier, and he's got orders from Hitler himself to burn the city if he cannot control it or if the Allies get too close. And much of the drama of the movie centers around the moral deliberations of the general and the Swedish ambassador, played by Orson Welles. Orson Welles is terrific in it, and I got a story about Orson Welles. And the eager but desperate leaders of the resistance to burn Paris if they can't keep control. So it's the cast in it. Let me tell you, it's the cast in the movie. We have Jean-Paul Belmondo. He's a French actor, of course. Charles Boyer, Leslie Caron. Let's see here. It's also got George Chakiris. He was in A West Side Story. Alan Delon, Kirk Douglas. He's got a small part in it, but it's got a terrific cast. And I've got, let's see here. Here's the cast right here. You can see some of the people in the movie. Is Paris Burning? It's just really, really so good. And a lot of attention of the movie is great detail, and it went into the film's production. The costumes, from the French civilian dress to the military uniforms, are all very accurate. Excuse me, in the movie. And all the exteriors were shot actually where it happened in Paris. And the scenes of the French resistance gathering on the streets and to the march to the police station. And actually, the movie, excuse me, uses a lot of actual footage from the war of the scenes. They kind of interact with it. And the movie was shot in black and white, and there's a reason the movie was shot in black and white. It's because the French people did not want the Nazi flag displayed in color with the red and the black. And so they had the film shot in black and white, not to show the colors of the Nazi flag. And the actual flags they used in the movie were black and white. They were not actual red and black flags. And so that's one reason the movie was shot in black and white back in 1966. And it's got a terrific score by Maurice Jarre. Really, really good. Here's a, let's see here. Here's part of the trailer. And I actually have, I collect film. So I actually have the 35 millimeter film trailer. And this is from 1966. I've had it in my collection for a while. There's the actual film trailer. Let's see here if I can hold it up. See, National Film Service, Is Paris Burning? And it's a pretty long trailer. There's it's a wonderful movie. I could watch it over and over. Oh, hang on a second. Let me call you back. Anyway, friend calling, sorry. But this is the actual trailer right there. Pardon the phone ringing. Let's see here. We've got, I have a clip here from the movie. This is Leslie Caron, and this is Orson Welles. He plays one of the resistance to the burning of Paris. In his capacity, he does not want the city burning, and he's talking to the Gert Forb, the Nazi who was taking orders from Hitler to burn Paris. And here's an audio clip. I recorded this from the movie, and she's trying to convince Orson Welles to help her family not get deported. And here's an audio version of it. See if we can play it here.
We may avoid such massacres as already occurred in Caen and Rennes.
That's a political concern, not military.
What happened?
You? I can't believe it. We have a chance. Hotel Majestic.
Oh,
The prisoners
that's marvelous.
may be turned over to the Red Cross. See if I can get a counter signature from the military government.
All right, that's a scene from the movie where she is in the car and they're going to the consulate there, and she's trying to save one of her family members from being deported because she wants to get the papers to convince Gert Forb, the Hitler guy, not to deport one of her family members. Here's another scene, audio clip, if I can get to it here. Hang on a second. All right. Here is Orson Welles talking to Gert Forb, and he's trying to convince him not to burn Paris because it's not the people of Paris. It's, they just want to save the city. Here's the audio clip.
And if a bomb should miss?
A few bombs always miss, but others will hit the target. It's the law of averages.
A bomb that misses could hit Notre Dame, Saint-Chapelle. It's 1,000 years of history turned to dust.
You're not the first one to tell me that. Yesterday morning, the mayor of Paris was here, Monsieur Teitinger. And he said the same thing. But what can I do? I am a soldier and I must obey the orders I was given by the Fuhrer.
General, your enemy is the Allied army, not the people of Paris. What you really care about is the defense of the city. All right? Arrange for a ceasefire. You'll have time to prepare that defense.
Like I said, it's got a great cast. Orson Welles is fantastic in it. And there's a story about Orson Welles. At the time they were filming the movie, it was released in 1966. And at the time they were filming the movie, he was having some tax problems. In other words, he owed the government a lot of money. And his salary was pretty decent for Is Paris Burning? But what they did, the IRS confiscated that money. They just took it. And he was furious. Of course, you know, about he owed the money, but the Internal Revenue Service took his paycheck. And after that, he never promoted the movie. He never really talked about it because it made him so mad that, you know, that the IRS took his money from the movie. But you know, that's just one of the things. Now, I told you the film was shot in black and white because the French government did not want the Nazi flags to be shown in color, and which stands to reason because they didn't want to bring back memories. And when they were shooting the film on the streets of Paris, they had, of course, all the equipment that go on with making the movie with the tanks and the flags and the Nazi uniforms and that sort of stuff. And it disturbed some of the people of Paris. But you know, so that's one reason they held it up. But it's just like, it's a wonderful movie. You know, and I told you Kirk Douglas had a small part. He played George Patton. It was a very small part in the movie. And you know, he was okay in it, but he was not convincing to me that he was, you know, he played Patton in the movie. But it's like a wonderful. There's Gert Forb, and the movie is actually in French and German. They speak both. So 1 minute they'll be speaking in French and English, and then they'll be speaking in German. So. And of course, they had the subtitles when they're speaking German. Of course, it's just a terrific movie. Another scene there. This is to the far right. That's Alain Delon, and then there is Jean Belmondo. He was in the movie Breathless. He was a big French actor. He's in this movie here. There he is. It's a wonderful movie if you like that sort of stuff. I like I said, I just enjoy the movie a lot. It has special meaning to me, being that when I was very young, it played in the movie theater at the Bailey where I worked. Here's a picture of. Now, this is I think this is an actual picture of Hitler in Paris. They incorporate actual film footage, like, you know, like in War of the Worlds, that TV series, but they actually incorporate footage from the war, and since it was black and white. See, I think that's a great looking, hang on a second, it's a great looking one sheet. There you go. Let's see, we got what are you talking? Let's see here. Then we got, I think I showed this one here. It's very accurate in its description of the war. The movie's in black and white, like you see here, but the movie was directed by René Clement, a French director. And Orson Welles was a little upset, too, at René because René received a huge salary for directing this movie. Actually, his salary was more money than was paid to Orson Welles. I mean, Orson Welles had a big ego, to say the least. And so René Clement, you know, he got a big salary for doing it. And here's a picture here. When finally the Allied forces and the American forces moved in to take control of Paris away from the Nazis. It was the Americans that actually went in and saved it. And here's the where they are cheering on. Did they, they ran the Nazis out of Paris. And of course, this is again the scene from the trailer, 1966. I'm not sure if the movie's streaming anywhere. It could be. I don't know. I'm sure you could probably check it out and see if it was, but it's available on DVD. I'm not sure if it's out on Blu-ray, but again, it's one of my favorite war movies, and I would like to talk more about it with some other people that kind of like it, maybe enjoyed the movie. But anyway, I just want to come in here on this Sunday and talk about it a little bit, about my favorite all-time movie as far as war pictures, is Paris Burning. It's got a great score by Maurice Jarre. And what's cool about it, the movie's in black and white, but the end credits are in color. And the end credits, it's with the music by Maurice Jarre, it's showing the skyline of Paris from the air, and you see the beautiful city that Paris is, and that's in color because the war was so bad that, it was. Paris was saved, and it's all in color. So the end credits are in color, which I thought was kind of cool. The movie was shot in CinemaScope. It's widescreen, and it's a wonderful war movie. If you want to check it out, it's available, I guess, on social media, physical media. If you want to check it out. But anyway, that's want to come in and talk about that for a few minutes today about because I just watched it recently, and it's a terrific movie. And check it out if you can. It's Paris Burning, 1966, directed by René Clément, and stars a great cast of actors, led by Orson Welles and Gert Ford. Wonderful movie. Anyway, check it out. Have yourself a great Sunday, and I will talk to you again real soon. Goodbye.